Hello and welcome to the Empower Couples podcast, where here you get modern, non-boring relationship advice for you and your partner to communicate like pros, fight smarter, and stay on the same team no matter the challenge that you face. I am one of your hosts, Aaron Freeman.
And I'm Jocelyn Freeman, but you all just know us as the Freemans.
And this episode is giving you brutally honest feedback for the husbands and men to have a better relationship.
And before you think we're biased, don't worry. We are recording an episode for the women next, and you're going to enjoy that as well. And look, we're giving this brutally honest feedback because we can also take it. These are things that we talk about not only in our own relationship and on our coaching sessions. And I have to compliment you, Aaron, because lately you've been on a whole other level on the sessions. I mean, sometimes I look over at you and I'm like, okay, because we've always been really frank and honest and bold with our clients, but I feel like you've stepped into another level of kind of challenging people. And especially, I think you've been speaking to the men, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I do agree with that. You know, we've done a couple of episodes about personality traits, and for those of you listening, you know I'm higher on agreeableness, and I just realized that if there's the difference that I really want to make in the lives of couples, I can speak to the men, but that also means I can't just be agreeable. I can't have the energy of people wanting to like me. I got to say what is going to make the biggest difference and the biggest impact. And the way I can do that is to say to the husbands, this is what I'm seeing. This is the pattern. I'm not saying it's personal to you, but you have to break this. Mm-hmm. You have to lead in your own relationship if you want any of this to get any better. And that's a key thing that we talk about with this podcast and our coaching, is that the first place to look to grow, to be more communicative, to be more on the same page, to overcome challenges, you have to do this stuff first. You can't be looking over at your partner on what they need to change. You have to be looking at yourself first. And there are some very common themes. There are some common upsets that are happening in relationships that are specific to the patterns that we're seeing in our own little sphere that men are contributing to.
Yes. And before we go into this feedback, which I'm sure at least one piece is going to resonate with you, as you listen, you're probably going to think, okay, this is right. Like, it is definitely speaking to me, and I want to be better. I want to step up. I want to take positive action for our relationship. And we have the perfect way for you to do that with our 5-day couples challenge, which is starting January 23rd, 2023. How cool of a date is that? Ooh. Right? And so couples from around the world are participating. There are live trainings each day, but you can watch the replays at any time that works for you in that day, and then complete the brief but potent activity that goes with it each day. And we're covering the 5 C's: communication, conflict, connection, collaboration, and overcoming challenges. And you can register for this 5-day couples challenge at mycoupleschallenge.com. It's going to give you structure, easy but powerful ways to make a positive impact in your relationship together.
And during those, maybe we'll end up giving more brutally honest feedback because there will be live trainings. But let's just start in here today on 3 key things that we're seeing that we want to give brutally honest feedback on. And of course, as I mentioned, being high on agreeableness, trying to keep to being brutal in the title, it makes me nervous already, but
we're going to curse it on then.
This is the place I'm trying to grow myself. And again, I'm not putting anyone down. You're not going to be putting anyone down either. We're really speaking to the patterns that need to change. And the first one is parenting your partner.
Yeah, please do not make your partner have to be your parent. And I think it was so powerful the way one client said. She said, to be attracted to you, I need to admire you and I need to respect you. And I thought that was so powerful and true. For me to be attracted to you, meaning I want you, I really see you as this man that I love, and you're like not just attractive, but magnetic. And I'm so proud to be with you. In order to feel that, I need to admire you, right? I can't just be like, oh yeah, you're cute, and still have the same passion for you that we did in the beginning when it was exciting and we were dating. And I think that when she said this, it really hit home that there are places she doesn't admire him because of the way he's showing up in those areas. In particular, for this couple, it was around things like how they parent. For her, it really impacted her when she'd see him kind of go off on the kids and not manage his own emotions. Or another big one, and we've been hearing this a lot lately, is if she feels like she has to delegate and tell you everything to do. And do you know how exhausting that is to not only maybe work or take care of the kids full time or whatever they're doing, but then have to be like, hey, can you load the dishwasher? And by the way, can you set the table? And hey, that baby needs their diaper changed, and have to delegate. It's exhausting, and it doesn't make us feel like we have a partner.
Not just delegate, but on top of that, if you're not looking around your own home, and men, this is not just your partner's home. It is not just their job to take care of the house. It is not just their job to take care of the kids. Those are your kids. What if your wife wasn't around? Wasn't around to pick up things around the house and organize it and make it function and have your kids get to school and eat and sleep and
have a clean home?
What would happen to them? I mean, I want you to think about that. If your wife was gone for a couple of weeks, what is your house going to look like? That's your house. Are your kids going to get anything done? Are they going to be safe? Are they going to be fed? Are they going to be nourished? Are they going to be sleep deprived probably? And it's like, there are so many times right now where you can't let this all just fall on your partner. This is yours. This is your life. Step up. When you see that there's something out of place, go fix it yourself. Go get it sorted out, whatever it is. And not just to kind of sit around and have this idea that, well, you went off to work, so you did your job, and you come home and you just lounge and there's nothing for you to do. And that just is that whole parenting thing. And then on top of that, if you're not helping where you can obviously see that your partner is doing everything else, and then on top of it, you're putting your dishes in the sink, you're leaving your clothes out, that's where it really goes over the edge, I think, right? That's where it's like, I'm already parenting the kids and managing all these house items, and I'm literally having to do the same activities for you, who are supposed to be my partner, that I'm doing for the kids.
Yes.
Wash, pick up, clean up, remind, and put on the sticky notes on the calendar on where you need to be.
And look, if you feel like another child to me, am I that attracted to you? Am I going to want you? Am I going to want to pull you into the bedroom and be like, yes, I love having to parent you, and now I want to make love to you? I want to add one more thing before we go to the second piece here. Please do not say, all you have to do is tell me what you need. Please tell me what I can help with. Sure, once in a while is that needed, but like Aaron said, it is your house too, and you have two eyes, and you are able to see, and you know what needs to be done. Look around and self-direct. If you want your partner to be more attracted to you, to want you, to rely on you, to respect you, then be a partner. All right, should we go to the second piece of Brutally Honest? I feel like I need to step up my brutal, maybe? Like, I feel like you're doing pretty good brutal.
Okay. Well, step it up.
I need to be more brutal with you.
I feel like together we're doing pretty decent. So the second one is kind of related to me. It happens in the same thread, but it's about being passive and having a disengaged attitude while you're around your partner, when you're in the house.
Like a zombie, half asleep.
Yeah, half asleep, yes, but also just having this, it is more to me like a disengaged, passive,
quiet,
kind of lazy, also kind of sad, kind of mopey attitude. And that's really a place for men to step up.
Now, to be clear, we're not saying you need to be happy-go-lucky and just like on fire every single day. Do we all have a day here and there where we're down and maybe have less energy? Of course. But if it's every single day that you're not engaging in conversation, you're not bringing joy and maybe some inspiration, some motivation, some energy, then it can feel almost like you're around someone, but not really around someone. And I know that people will have this experience where they're like, I feel lonely, even though you're there. And it's because where's the engagement? Where is your aliveness? Where is your generating this energy for the home? And so what is it that you want to bring to the table? Do you want to show up and be that joyful, happy, energetic person that you were early on when you were dating? Don't let that dwindle just because you're comfortable now. You can't get too complacent. It's okay to be comfortable, but please don't become complacent. It is one of the least attractive things.
And a part of this is around the psychological idea of what creates meaning and purpose, fulfillment throughout your life ongoingly. And I've been listening to messages about this a lot lately, one by a Canadian psychologist named Jordan Peterson. And the idea is, if you think about what's going to create meaning and fulfillment in your life, it is that you find an aim. You find a direction. Some might say purpose, but you find an aim, a direction, something that's going to be meaningful to you to really commit your life to and start to get yourself on that path. And I think a lot of times men might have certain things and you go about your life and maybe you've accomplished a good amount of them. And so maybe it's not resetting and redirecting, or maybe some of those things are not what you thought would bring as much fulfillment. So when you don't have that, you just start to feel as if you're just going day by day, just kind of letting life go by. You're just doing tasks, and that has you feel this disengaged, passive, kind of like being in a slump,
fatigued,
mopey type of energy and attitude towards life in general. Mm-hmm. And that does impact your family. So the idea is you have to see this as one of the most important things you could do with your life, is to find out what you should be doing with your life from this moment on. It could be something you had pursued or not. But then what you have to do with that clarity, you have to take up some responsibility. You have to pick up what he says is like a burden. So if you think about like way back when, even if you picked up a rock that was heavy that maybe a few other people like back in the caveman days couldn't pick up, and you're like, I can move that rock to over here. And it's like, at least you feel like you can do something. You kind of create your own value, if you will. Now, even better if the something has meaning to you, like moving a rock is not that big of a deal. But that's what the responsibility, the burden is. If you find something that really you want to aim for with your life, then start to pick up areas of responsibility that's going to have you start to grow into the person that you need to become to fulfill on that. And that in itself creates meaning. It creates self-confidence. It creates a certain image of yourself. It creates that aliveness towards life, and that's going to have a trickle impact into your marriage and into the life with your family.
And to make it clear, because I know some of you listening to this part around having energy and engaging are thinking, Freeman's, at the end of the day, I'm exhausted. Whether I started off the morning with kids or I've been working all day, I'm tired. And what, you want me to have all this energy in the evenings? We aren't saying you need to be at peak energy levels 24/7. However, if you are more fatigued during the week, for example, then what effort are you putting in on the weekends? How are you making sure that your partner feels special? And look, I'm going to give you a clue. You could earn major points if you tell your partner, I have planned a surprise activity for us. Whether that's just the two of you or you and the kids, we're just looking for engagement. We want your energy. We want your effort. That is one of the key words I hear from women all the time is I need your energy. I need your engagement. I need to feel effort.
And if, this is supposed to be about brutally honest, right? So if, from what you're saying, that you're coming home without energy after going to work, it might be something to look at that you need to change direction in your life. Mm-hmm. If you're doing a bunch of trivial things that aren't really that meaningful to you, whether it is your job or the thing that you spend the majority of your time on and your life has been maybe focused that direction, and if it's trivial and it's not that meaningful to you, what are you doing? Wasting your life.
Let's go.
It's not going to bring you that kind of energy, that zest, that fire, that inspiration, that motivation, that meaningfulness, the fulfillment in your life that you can then pass on to your family. And I just don't think it's worthwhile for us men to continue down a path like that because we're not meant to live like that. Mm-hmm. Another way to put this is there's a certain aspect of us men that are meant to go out there, hunt, and kill things. we don't have to do that much anymore because of the society we live in. But that is kind of the attitude too. That used to be something that men could feel proud of. You went out, you hunted, you gathered, you killed some stuff, you came back and you provided. And if you don't have that type of thing in your life, you feel like you go out there, you don't have to actually kill things, obviously, but you're pursuing it. You're in the hunt. You kill as in you're really overcoming things in your life and having meaningful competition, like with others. Like go out there and kill the competition in whatever this area is that you want to pursue. It's going to give you life energy. So not just saying go and do trivial things and then like, oh, well, I'm so tired. Well, of course, you're doing meaningful, trivial things. Maybe you need to look beyond that.
Yes. Okay, let's go to the third piece of brutally honest feedback. I'm feeling your fire, by the way. I think you're 9 out of 10 brutal.
Oh yeah.
I probably
it's late
get
too.
up.
This is just so for all of you listening, we're having to do another late night one because of care for Sky, and we're moving this week. This is moving week for us.
Yes.
So here we are late into the evening, but this is how committed we are to these messages.
So the third piece of brutally honest feedback, and this is something, seriously, you can't forget this one. Have more integrity to your word. Now, what do we mean by your word? Your word is what you promise, and do you follow through? Look, all you can be known for is whether you are count-onable. Are you reliable? You can't just say, oh, I'm a good husband and I'm a nice guy. Well, do you follow through? That is the main thing. Integrity is all we have. And your partner can't count on you if you say one thing and you do another. Or you keep saying, I will, and sometimes you even like, get off my back and try to make us feel like nags. No, make sure you know what you're giving your yes to, what you are promising, and have integrity. And please don't make us follow up all the time. I'm just going to make it clear. That's
Whoa, okay. All right, you stepped it up there a bit on that one.
Trying to bump up the brutal.
Bump up the brutal. So I'll add to this one a little bit in saying that a part of this is being your word, speaking up, being assertive, being decisive, of course, being a man of integrity. And a part of that rests on this idea of like expressing your needs, your wants, your desires, your expectations. And you give up the right to be upset about anything if you are holding things back and suppressing and just walking around in any of these other energies we've talked about, letting your partner do all the other things over here. You see things that need to get done. You're not doing them. You're passive. You're disengaged. You're not happy with the way your life is going, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and yet you're not asserting and speaking up about what you need. You give up the right to be upset at your partner. You cannot, when they are asking you to do something or asking, why is your energy down, and just be upset. Oh, you should know this. You should know that. Here's why I'm upset. Did you ever say that to them? No? Then you don't get to be upset. Step up, be assertive, be decisive, know what you want, know what you need, express it, make agreements, say yes to the things you can commit to, say no to the things you can't, but of course, just don't cut your partner out. Say, no, it's not a line for me, or I can't do that now, or maybe it's this timing, or obviously I hear the need that you're requesting, so how about this? Get creative, get resourceful, but you don't just get to be passive and upset about things if you're not being a leader with your word and being integral.
And linking back to something that I was talking about earlier around attraction. Again, if you want your partner to want you, to be attracted to you, to desire to be intimate with you, then you need to be a person of integrity. Because again, how are we supposed to respect you? Which I know is a big thing that men want. It's actually one of the top things we hear men say. I want to feel respected. Then if you want us to respect you, then make sure you are following through on your promises. And I can't tell you how many times on sessions we have heard women say, it would be better if you just told me no. Just told me no to whatever the thing I am asking, then say yes and not mean it. Because it continues to have me doubt you, and then you wonder why I ask, and then you wonder why, I'm not chasing after you, wanting you. So these are really key. I want to link back to this attraction because I know it feels great to feel wanted, to feel as though your partner, desires that connection with you. But in order to feel that, we need these three things that we said. Do not make us parent you. Please be our partner. See what needs to be done and just do it. Self-direct. Second one, please don't be passive and disengaged. Instead, bring energy, engagement, effort. Those are such attractive personality traits. And then have integrity to your word. Don't make promises that you don't follow through on just because you want to appease us and make us happy. So we hope that this was a decent amount of brutal for you. Not too brutal, right? Because we're rooting for you. We want you to win. We believe in you. And I know that we have given each other honest feedback. We have had our friends give us honest feedback. And hopefully this episode feels like a gut punch in a way, but a gut punch you like, because the people in your life may not be this honest with you. They might say things like, oh, you're right. And, depending on the type of friends you keep around, you may not get any feedback at all. Maybe all of you just say, oh, we're fine, or we're doing okay right now, or we're busy. And you don't have these deep, important, meaningful conversations. So we hope that this was just the reality check and a wake-up call that you needed. And you can get extra bonus points with your partner if you go ahead and sign up for the 5-day couples challenge that is starting January 23rd, 2023. So go to mycoupleschallenge.com, get signed up, get these brief but potent and meaningful activities and lessons for each of those 5 days. We're rooting for you, we're here for you, and we will talk to you on the next episode.